we are back with another episode of Unapologetically Shaun, where I will be discussing everything self-care, mental health, and a splash of pop culture and whatever else I feel like talking about. All right, this episode is very, very special this week. So I guess I'll just throw a little sound bite in there and you'll know exactly what we're going to be talking about this week.
So tell us, what's your dream job?
Darling, I've told you several times before, I have no dream job. I do not dream of labor.
I heard that. So today's episode number 3, is I don't dream of labor. We gonna get into everything I hate about working for somebody else and, you know, where I'm at in my current position in life. So stay tuned and keep on listening because this is going to be a great, great episode. Also, I wanted to let you know we are available on 5 platforms to listen to, plus YouTube. And those 5 platforms are Google Podcasts, Spotify, Breaker, Radio Public, and of course Anchor. If you're interested in learning on how to start your own podcast, you can always go on Anchor. It's free to start it, or you can just start one on YouTube. All right, that's my little spiel about where you can hear us at. Hear me, of course. All right, let's get right into it. All right, so I just want to go in and tell you a little bit about how my past week went because it ties into why I don't dream of labor. So let me shrink it down and give you a little synopsis of what happened. So it's almost to the end of the day, right? And, you know, not my supervisor, but kind of like not the president. I don't exactly know what he did, but anyways. So he come get me. It's almost like 3 o'clock. I already know what's up because I've been waiting for the day to happen, you know? So I go in his office. I see this lady. Come to find out it's HR. Oh, wow. So I already knew what was about to go down. So they was like, oh, well, we don't need your services. Not exactly like that. But, you know, they was like, we don't need your skill set. I already knew what that meant. And that's fine because I don't want to be there. So I'm not mad or anything. I'm happy. I'm screaming inside like, thank God you finally answered my prayer because I was ready to get up out of there. So she explaining everything on how we supposed to move forward. And I'm like, okay. So, of course, they walk you out like, you know, you gonna steal something. So, I go get in my car and, you know, in my mind, I didn't envision being fired. Because I've never been fired before. I always been the one that quit. So I never really envisioned on how I would feel if I got fired. But I actually was happy. So that tells you I was just mentally done with that place long time ago. But anyways, my whole point into that story is, like, you should never feel like a job owns you. Like your life is gonna end because the job ended. It is what it is. You know, it's part of life. And you just set yourself up so that if something like that happens, you straight until you ready to find something else. But my point is, I know that I was put on this earth to create. No matter what it is, I was put on this earth to create. I was never supposed to be working for somebody else or building up somebody else's dream. I know that in my soul. So for this to happen, it has fueled me to create more and to do more and create avenues to make money and to support my family. I even had stickies up in my office for me to look at every single day to remind me that, okay, this is how much money a day I need to make. No matter what I do, I need to make this amount of money so that I need to make this amount of money, sorry y'all, a day for me to make this amount in a month, right? So I kept that sticky note up there to remind me, okay, if I ever am in a position where a job that I'm working decides to let me go, I'm good, I'm straight. That's why it's important to have multiple streams of income so that you will never be in a bind and dependent on anybody, you know? So I had that up there. So now it just fuels me more to just figure out ways to make money so that I can reach that goal for the amount that I need to raise. Well, not raise, but I need to make in a day. So yeah, that was my story about that. But another thing why I feel like we shouldn't be dreaming of working, you know, especially being a black woman, being a black person in general. I gotta go there, yeah. I gotta go there. Our people was enslaved, and they worked for free for over 400 years. So I feel like as their descendants, we should not be working for nobody. We should have it made because our people worked for us. But I mean, nobody ready for that conversation. And I ain't gonna ruffle no feathers with this one, because you know that's something that really grinds my gears, why we have to work so hard and why our people are called lazy when when our ancestors worked for us and for the whole country. What do you mean? We ain't never lazy. But that's just a whole nother story. I don't want to upset nobody, but that's just what it is. But anyways, you know, I just feel like we should not have to sacrifice our dreams, what we want out of life, to make $1. God gave us everything we needed to survive on this earth. And what has happened is capitalism. That's what happened to us. We should not even be living this way. We should not have homeless people. We should not have people hungry. We should not have none of that. This earth is big enough for everybody. God gave us everything we needed. We should have been not worrying about having fancy cars and houses and all of that. We need to go back to our roots. Go back to nature. We need to learn how to plant our own food. We need to learn how to fish if you eat fish. We need to learn how to do everything that we were intended to do in the beginning. Because as a humanity, we are far off track. And if anybody's going to destroy this world, it's human beings. If you think about that, that's who's going to destroy this world. But I'm going off topic, and we can go into depth on another episode about that, because that's a whole nother story right there. But back to I Don't Dream of Labor. I know you have seen this trend more on YouTube. A lot of people talk about it. A lot of young people. I'm a young woman myself, and I totally get it, where they're coming from, because I feel the same way. It's like modern day slavery, if you think about it. And you're not enslaved to work for free anymore, but you're mentally enslaved. It's like we're enslaved to materialistic things. If we don't have this amount of money, or we don't have this type of car, or this house, or these type of clothes, we're not good enough. That's what I mean by we're mentally enslaved. Long as you are able to feed yourself, clothe yourself, and shelter yourself, that should be good enough. So that's where I wanted to go with that, because it's crazy that we even live in a world like this. And it's like, what can we do to change that? what can we do? Because it's going to take more than just one idea, one mind to spark a whole generation. It's going to take more than that. It's going to have to take us all coming together to change the system. And the system probably will never change in our lifetime. But I do hope that my great grandkids don't have to be enslaved like our people have been enslaved mentally, you know. It's just crazy. And I really want to go more into depth about how I feel about living in a world where people are going hungry and there are million and billionaires. I definitely want to talk about that and go more in depth about that, because that's one thing that grinds my gears, as Peter Griffin would say. It doesn't make any sense to me at all. But I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up. I don't want to make it too long. I really don't want to make my podcast really long right now, starting off. But I feel like we should be able to do what makes our soul happy, you know. We are so, I don't know if I want to say brainwashed. Yes. To give so much of ourselves to somebody else's dream. It's nothing wrong with working for somebody if that's what you want to do. Be my guest, do it. But you never know who will be the next person to do something in this world, because they're trapped and stressed out by a job. They're not able to open their mind or have the time to even think about what they can give to this world, because they're trapped in capitalism. It's crazy. And that's just something that I think about all the time. It's like, we might be suppressing a gift that God has given us to make $1. Have you ever thought and sit back and thought about what talent or what gift that you have to give to this world? That's something you should think about. And I'd always think about keeping up with the Joneses. Not always thinking about how to make money here, how to make money there. Have you ever just thought about what gift that you were supposed to be sharing with the world, you know? So that's all I wanted to talk about. I don't dream of labor, never will. And it's all right if you work for somebody. It's nothing wrong with it. It's all right if you don't have that entrepreneurial spirit. It's nothing wrong with it. But make sure, if you are working for somebody, make sure you're making a difference in this world. Don't just be doing it to survive, you know, because you can survive if you just learn how to go back to the basics. And you'll be all right. God got you. If you're not religious, I don't know. Whoever you believe in, they got you. But I know God got me. So I ain't got no worries. Bigger and better is always on the horizon. Always remember that. All right, I'm going to wrap this up. And I want to thank you for listening to Unapologetically Shaun. This is episode 3. I don't dream of labor. And yes, this will be a weekly staple. So make sure you listen to us on Google Podcasts, Spotify, Breaker, Radio Public, Anchor, and also I will be uploading this on my YouTube channel, Life with Shaun. And yeah, so thank you for listening and have a wonderful week. All right, bye.